something you've been putting off. Maybe you say, someday I'll do that, or when I have more time. Whether the item is a big bucket list item or something smaller like going on a hike, now is the time to start your Say Yes list. And we have the perfect process to help you turn these items into reality. Join thousands of others with our free Say Yes list template at thesayyesexperience.com/list. It'll help you stop living in that someday and start making those list items come true today. So download it now at thesayyesexperience.com/list. Welcome to the Say Yes Experience podcast, where we inspire you to get out of your comfort zone and into possibility. Our mission at the Say Yes Experience is to empower 10 million people to say yes. If you're new here, welcome. We're thrilled you're here. I'm Jessica Rector. I co-founded the Say Yes Experience with my then 9-year-old son Blaze, based off his idea to let's just say yes to things. I'm one of the top experts on burnout, and companies and conferences hire me to present on mental health, wellness, and burnout prevention. As the #1 best-selling author of 11 books, keynote speaker, and a burnout specialist, I've seen so much with our clients. The Say Yes Experience was started to help you really start living, to do the things that light you up, have more fun, and turn your dreams, or what we call Say Yes list items, into reality. So thank you for investing in yourself and being here. Now let's make it happen. The Amazing Race is one of my favorite shows. It's a reality show that follows teams of 2 around the globe, tasking them with physical and mental challenges along the way. It's really a show about relationships. And if you watch The Amazing Race, you know my guests as the guys who brought the laughter. Or maybe you know them as the Mustaches. Whatever you call them, we call them pure joy and loads of fun. As the underdogs of their season 35, they made it all the way to the finale. And during their journey, you couldn't help but fall in love with them, their attitude, and definitely their friendship. So please help me welcome my guests today, Garrett Smith and Joel Strasser.
Hey, hello.
The guys who blew it in the end of The Amazing Race, season 35. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Jessica. Happy to be here.
I am so excited, so excited to have you here. So we are going to go back to the beginning, the very, very beginning. How I want to start it is I want you to share what you feel was the kind of deciding factor or your secret sauce to even get chosen to be on The Amazing Race in the first place.
That's a great question.
Yeah, that's a good
people
question.
ask us that a lot because everybody wants to be on the show, us included. We can't believe we made it, by the way. And we wish we would have known this before, but it worked for us. I think we have a compelling dynamic. I think that that's what the casting people thought. They thought that when we're together, the way we bounce off each other and the way that we interact, the way that we can get through stress without fighting, I think that came through even early in the casting. I think when we auditioned, they noticed that.
I think a big part of it is having one partner that's willing to grow a beard and one that's willing to grow a mustache.
That too. Didn't hurt.
We are going to get to that a little later because I have a question about that.
We just get along really well, and we like to make fun of each other. We like to mess with each other, but we also like to have a good time together. And so, I mean, I think people, they could just recognize that we just are really calm and collected together.
Yep.
But there's got to be more than that. And here's why I think so. There's thousands of people who they talk to, thousands of people that send in videos or, applications, whatever it is. And there's something special that they said, oh, we want to talk to these guys, not just once, but, oh, we want to talk to whatever that process looks like. It was something compelling about you that they kept saying, oh, because there's got to be a long process, right? That they dwindle it down and dwindle it down.
There actually was one thing that they said at one point where they thought it was kind of cool how our lives really mirrored each other in a lot of ways, starting from a young age. We both grew up in big families. We both had a lot of siblings. We grew up in religious households. We both served missions for our church outside of the country. We both joined the military. I mean, a lot of similarities. We
all
both
before we knew each other.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
that before we ever met.
That's crazy.
And then we got married, what, 7 months apart, like, and that was at the beginning of our friendship. Even like we didn't even come to each other's weddings because we
didn't know each
still
other. Yeah.
were early enough in getting that. Yeah. And then
How
we started
funny.
having kids, and we both struggled with infertility, and we both had a tragic or a scary situation in a hospital with one of our kids where
Oh my God.
they almost passed away and had to be revived. Each one of us had that same situation happen.
Separately, yeah.
Yeah. And
It's
so
like one person, two different lives.
yeah,
It's like,
And on top
wow,
of that,
that's amazing.
when we auditioned, Smythe said something in our audition that I didn't know he was going to say. He talked about, I knew he was thinking about saying something, but he didn't tell me what it was. And we're recording our audition video, and he talks about, so we got deployed together to Iraq,
Mhm.
and we both, our platoon is going there, and we're looking forward to this adventure together. But early on in the deployment, like right in the first 3 or 4 months of this 18-month deployment, he gets hurt and he has to go
Oh.
home. And
Yeah.
so he didn't get to complete the deployment with me, and we wanted to have this adventure together. Now, up to that point, that was the story that I knew.
Yeah.
But while we're auditioning, making the video, Smythe starts talking about how when he came home from the deployment, he was very depressed because he felt like he abandoned us.
yeah,
Mm.
I had a hard time with it because I knew that Strasser and I had this bond.
Yeah.
And so I kind of felt like we were going to rely on each other throughout this deployment because, I mean, it's not the best situation to be in war, and so we'd have each other to rely on. When I went home, I just felt like, well, I just let him down. I let down my other platoon mate, and so I had a hard time with it. And, I did a lot of laying around on my couch, and like, I just wasn't willing to get up and get back to life, and
Yeah.
and it wasn't until I got a package in the mail from Strasser and from another buddy of ours where they had recorded this song on a DVD, and it was just they just made up words to a song, and
I love it.
like about how they they're going to be okay without me, and they hope that I'm okay,
Oh,
and that kind of like snapped me out of my bad mood that I was in, and
yeah.
kind of got me back on track. So
I love it. Well, there's like complete synergy around you. And if you look at a lot of the teams on The Amazing Race, not all of them, but just even in the course of all the seasons they've had, there's a lot of conflict that goes on with the teams, a lot of conflict. When people get stressed, they tend to bicker and fight and argue. One of the things that I love about y'all is that no matter how much stress or pressure you feel, your core value is fun. Your core value is fun. And even I remember in the, I don't know like the name of the episode, but like when you were eating sausages or whatever, and at the end you're like, well, we're eliminated. Let's just enjoy these sausages and have a good time. And I thought, gosh, if everyone had that attitude, just whether you're enduring a challenge or an issue or just about life, the world would be totally different. So what do you think is instilled in you, or what do you think that you learned throughout life to give you that kind of attitude?
To me, it's control what you can control and don't worry about what you can't control, which is easier said than done.
Yeah.
For much of my life, I didn't live that way. But I figured it out somewhere along the way, and I'm still figuring it out that you're a lot happier if you just focus on only the stuff you have control over.
Yeah.
And let the rest of it go.
And it's all about positivity too. Negativity doesn't get you anywhere in life. The more you focus on the negative, the more you're going to struggle, the more difficulties are going to come into your life. So let go of the negativities, focus on the positivities. And as you have a positive attitude, you'll have a positive outcome.
Yep.
But in everything that you did, I also felt like you were enjoying that situation as opposed to seeing it as a challenge, or, oh my gosh, we have to put more of this stuff in the dumpster, or, all these things. You were having fun. You were slamming this stuff down and you were like, okay, let's just do it. And as a viewer, I never thought I'd have fun like watching someone throw stuff in a dumpster. It's like, oh my gosh, yes, throw it, do it. Yeah. And so you can feel that through the TV too.
We never lost sight of the fact that this is our dream.
Oh man.
Like, we wanted to do this so much for years. We wanted to do this challenge. So nothing was gonna like kind of buck us off our horse. We were going to be happy and enjoy every second of this, no matter what. And so and it wasn't like something we planned. That wasn't a strategy. That's just who we are. We're gonna love this.
Not a lot of people get to have the experience that we got to have. As the race went on, certain challenges would happen, and we'd look around and we'd be like, this is something you'd see on The Amazing Race. And it's just so weird to be in that environment, knowing that we're on the show right now. Like we're just so excited to be a part of it that I don't know that anything could have gotten us down.
But here's the challenge. You say it's about positivity, right? That's just about your mindset. But when you're in those situations, when you feel stressed, when you see someone's farther along in the process than you are, and okay, this is not my expertise, and I've got to do what? I've got to that Irish dance or whatever it was, and you're having to do it. People have come after you, left before you, and then not just having to do that and having to do it over and over, but then watching him do that. And I could feel like my blood boil going, oh my gosh, get it this time. And he wasn't even my partner. So how do you keep even keel, let alone be positive in those situations and not allow it to affect your head? Because it's easy to say, okay, be positive. But is there something you say to yourself? Is there something that, you do some deep breathings and, calm your heart rate? What is it that you do? Because those things can easily take over. And then you play that conversation in your head 50 million times. Oh, I should have done this. Why didn't I do this?
Well, for me, watching him do that Irish dance, I'm thinking I'm sitting there thinking, you know what, maybe this is the end of our time, and that's okay. What an experience, And if we go home at this point, I mean, look at all the things we got to do. I also think in that theater, I'm thinking, I cannot believe he's on the stage with the people from this dance. Like who gets to do that? And so even though there is the thought, well, we're the last team here, maybe we're going home now, it's still the whole just appreciation. And I think a big thing for us also is we try to say consistency over motivation. You're not always going to have the motivation.
True.
And keep the consistency, eventually you'll get the challenge done. You just gotta keep going and not give up.
And for me, doing the Irish dance was by far the hardest thing on the entire race, and probably the hardest thing I've done in a couple decades. It was they couldn't have given me a tougher challenge, but my approach was to say to myself, I can do this. I will learn this. I'm going to pass this. And of course, the negativity is there trying to get in, because there's nothing more foreign to me than dancing. It is. I said part of it in the show, or I said the whole thing, but you saw part of it. What I said in the show was I took a dance class in college to try to meet girls, and the part they didn't show you is the next line is, and instead of meeting girls, I didn't learn how to dance, and I didn't meet any girls either. They didn't want anything to do with me, so it was a complete fail. That whole venture didn't work out for me. But giving me a dance challenge, and it was my biggest fear. I knew it could happen, and I knew it was likely to happen. At some point I'm going to hit a dance challenge. But I kept telling myself, I will learn this. There's no room for can't. And I've watched The Amazing Race so much, and I've seen so many people on the show get hit with a tough challenge and say, I can't do this.
Yeah.
I'm not able to do this. There's no way I can do this. I never say that because, I want to. I'm tempted to, of course, but I push it away and I say, no. I will learn this. I'm going to. It's possible. It can be. And I just
so true.
Things.
So true.
Do you want to start saying yes, but you just don't know where to start? And oftentimes when we don't know where to start, we just don't start. So we created an ebook just for you. We put together 101 ways to say yes. In this ebook, ideas big and small, things that only take a small amount of time, like 1 to 2 minutes. Whether you're saying yes to yourself, in your family, relationships, or pushing yourself lovingly outside of your comfort zone with adventures, it's all made to really help you become more of your rock star self. So you can get this ebook at thesayyesexperience.com/book. BOOK. So if you want to start saying yes, or maybe you need some ideas on how to say yes because you get so caught up in being busy and doing tasks and projects or doing laundry and cooking that the time flies by and you want to spend time with your family, but you just don't know how to say yes. Those ideas just don't come to you. We put it together to make it super, super easy for you. So go to thesayyesexperience.com/book to get your copy today and start saying yes now. Are you feeling overwhelmed, stressed, or burned out? We get it. You're not alone. In fact, according to our research, 79% of the workforce is in burnout and almost half are in extreme burnout. In fact, it's the number one reason why people are leaving organizations. They're burned out. They're looking for something more. They're looking for something better. But it doesn't have to be that way. We have your solution. It's called Blaze Your Brain to Extinguish Burnout. 52 Keys to Prevent, Breakthrough, and Eliminate Burnout. You can find your copy at justcorrector.com/store. Now, this is a great tool that you can use with yourself, with your colleagues, within your organization. Everyone can get one, and you can go through one a week with them. And at the end, you can say, what was something that worked this week? What was the success you had? So you can champion and encourage each other. You can also ask what were the challenges and issues that came up, so you can mastermind and brainstorm around those to keep those from coming up in the future. So make sure you get your copy at justcorrector.com/store. All books are autographed with a personal message just for you.
True. And when you keep repeating those things to yourself, Joel, the more you repeat them, the more you believe them and buy into them, and the more you're able to do it, right? Whereas if you say, I can't do this, there's no way, you buy into that too, and then it becomes even harder to do. But I love what you're saying, Garrett, about consistency. And that just pertains to so many different aspects in life, like even beyond the Amazing Race, right? When we're consistent, you may not see results today or tomorrow or the next day, but you'll eventually see those results. But most people give up before they have a chance to even give themselves consistency. So, man, y'all are so inspiring. Who knew that you'd come on here and be so inspiring and motivating with what you're saying and how what you're practicing in those tasks really apply to life in general. Yeah. What do you think was the biggest thing that you learned, whether about yourself or a lesson when you were in that? Because there was a lot of different challenges you had to overcome, things you had to endure, personalities you had to interact with. But what was the biggest thing that you took away or learned from the experience?
I think for me, and I might say something, you could ask me this question 10 times, and I'd say something different every time.
Of course.
But right now I'm thinking, it doesn't matter what people expect of you. It doesn't matter what you look like. It doesn't matter what, I don't know. We don't necessarily look like the team that comes within a whisker of winning the thing. We do kind of look like the team that washes out after the first couple of legs. I know that. We got our dad bods going. We're not like these athletic specimens. We're well into our 40s at this point. So we're not young and full of energy and everything. But we do believe that we can do it, and we're going to keep pushing forward no matter what gets thrown at us. And I would tell anybody, I don't care what you look like. I don't care even what you act like. You can do it if you believe you can. Just believe it and go and do it.
Yeah, I think a big thing for me is the power of the mind, like how powerful the mind can be. I have a big fear of heights. Even every time I get on a plane, I just try to block out the fact that I'm on the plane. And when we had to go skydiving, I was nervous about that. But as we did it, I just tried to focus my mind and say, okay, I'm not going to think about the scariness of this. Yeah. I'm just going to, accept what's about to happen. And I forced my way through it. And if you can learn to control your mind, you have all the power in the world.
And it kind of goes back to what Joel was saying about the mind. I can do this. Yeah. I will do this. And the more that you say that and repeat it, and the mind's a powerful thing. It'll keep you from doing things and propel you to doing other things as well. So let's just talk about the end. Let's just talk about the end. If you could go back and Or maybe it's a different answer. If you could go back and change anything, what would you change? Do you regret how it ended? Because I will tell you guys, I was pulling for you. I was like, no, Gary, no. Sorry, I was like really screaming at my TV. I was like so passionate about it. I'm like, they're gonna get it. They're gonna get it.
Obviously, if we could change one thing, it would be to take two kayaks that were inverted and uninverted.
Right.
But
That being said, we both have agreed that we really wouldn't change anything. In the end, we honestly feel like this played out the way it was supposed to play out.
Yeah.
We feel like, you know, the way things did work out in the end really was a bigger benefit to us than had we won the $1 million.
How was that?
Well, one of the big reasons for it, I mean, I guess Strasser can tell this story, but before he says the story, I saw a video after we got home about, you know, if you're trying to catch a bus and you're doing everything in your power to catch a bus, and you're praying to catch this bus, and you know, you feed the dog, you get out the door on time, and then you get to the bus stop and the bus drives away, you missed it. You didn't miss your bus just hasn't arrived yet. And so you can't chase something that you didn't catch. That's not meant for you. And so, you know, you just got to keep working and, you know, keep doing the best you can. And eventually your bus will come and things will be just fine. And in a way, I mean, that kind of happened with us.
Yeah. And I will say it is tempting to think about wanting to go back and switch one little, obviously. I mean, that's a truth for anybody, but it doesn't help anything.
Right.
It would basically only hurt you to think about something that's in the past that can't be changed and wish you could change it. But something very good that came from this is in one of the last episodes, I don't remember which one, we had mentioned on camera what we would do if we won.
Yeah.
Smythe said he would get a service dog for his daughter who has some specialized needs. And the type of dog she needs is not a run-of-the-mill service dog. It's a very specialized one.
Yes.
And people caught on to that, and people noticed it. I had forgotten that he even said that, and I saw when he said it on the show. Well, people started saying, like, online and stuff, like, if these guys don't win, we need to make sure that she gets her dog.
I love it.
And we didn't win, but I created an online fundraiser and I put it out there.
Oh, I love it.
Like the day after the finale aired, and people started donating and sharing the fundraiser with each other like crazy. And we raised the money in 4 days, and it was incredible. And it really helped me because I was hard on myself, because when you watch the final episode, the two kayaks that were out of place, I put them there. It wasn't Smythe agreed because he felt like it looked right, but I was the one who said, no, this goes here and this goes here. And I was completely wrong. And I was carrying that with me, that little piece of regret that had that been changed, we would have won the thing, and we would have won it by 10 minutes, 15 minutes. We would have won it by a large margin if not for that. But it really helped me. It was very comforting, and it really lifted me up when I saw everyone come together and donate so that Brinley could have her, which is something that wouldn't have happened if we
otherwise. And it you also gave all those people a gift. You gave them a gift to help someone that they otherwise wouldn't have been able to help, right? So and that's a gift for them to say, I helped Brinley get this service dog. Then they wouldn't have had that opportunity otherwise. So thank you for that, for, you know, I hate to say thank you for not winning the race, but thank you for, when you didn't win the race, putting something out there like that, to not just, because it's about Brinley, but it's not about Brinley, right? It's about Brinley and helping her, but it's also about you giving a gift and an opportunity to all these other people to help someone in a bigger way. And it just goes to show really the art of human kindness and how people want to help, people want to give. Oftentimes they just don't know how to do that. And you gave them an opportunity to do that. So thank you for thinking of that and thinking that big, that you were going to help these people give to someone else. So that's pretty incredible to see how everyone comes together like that.
It was an unexpected blessing.
Yes.
I'll tell you, because
has she gotten her service dog now then?
So we're in the process, and And I've told everyone, I'm going to keep updating on Instagram the
Yay.
whole process, what's going on. One little sneak peek, I guess, that I haven't announced yet is there is a dog that has a good potential that we're going to go meet here in a few weeks to see how well it bonds with Brindley. And if it bonds well, then hopefully that'll be the one that it's not through the full service dog training, but it's into the process where then we do the specialized. So, I mean, it's coming along, and hopefully in the next few weeks, I'll put an announcement out on Instagram about meeting this dog. So
yeah, we'll make sure we have all your social in the show notes as well. That's super exciting. So one last question, probably the biggest question ever. Are you ready, guys? Are you ready?
We're ready.
It's a big one. Okay. So what do you think helped you the most to get as far as you did? The beard or the mustache?
I mean,
that is a tough question.
That is a tough question, but
inquiring minds want to know.
Okay, so here's the thing. In the Germany leg, rappelling down the castle wall, Strasser did have me follow the mustache down, and that did help.
Yeah, I hollered up to him, "Let your mustache guide you," or something like that as he was rappelling down.
Yep.
But if you recall, in that episode, we almost went home. We thought we were going home, ended up being saved. So the mustache may have saved us. But in the Slovenia leg, Strasser used the power of the beard to guide him.
Slovenia leg.
The second one.
Yeah.
He used the power of the beard to guide him, and we ended up in one place that leg.
You go. Yeah.
And we ended up in second place that leg. We got to give it to the beard, I think.
I think that edges it out. Yeah. I didn't get thought of that.
Yeah.
That no one has asked us that question.
That's a great question.
I don't think we would have known that until you asked us, but we worked through it, and I think the beard wins. So
yeah. My friend and I were having that conversation. I was like, man, I don't know, are they called the mustache or the beards? I mean, one's got one, one's got the other. And, it's like, what?
They couldn't figure out what to call us. Half of them called us the mustachios and half of them called us the beard bros, but neither one adequately
fits the team.
Yeah.
Really.
It wasn't it like come for the mustache, stay for the beard or something like that. So I'm like, well, which one led you further? Oh my gosh, I love it. Well, thank you so much for being here and for joining us. I loved seeing how you started off and really the transition that you made in the journey, because it seemed like at the beginning you were a little quieter, and then all of a sudden, personalities came out, and I was like, they are the fun ones. Yes, yes, yes. Oh my gosh. And I think everyone was rooting for y'all.
I will totally chalk that up, by the way, to the edit. We were cool the whole time.
Yeah, we were the favorites.
We were ourselves the whole time, but we didn't get much airtime when there were a lot of teams. We were being just as cool and zany and whatever you want to say the whole time. And in fact, I remember the third episode or something, we were like, hey, were we even in this show?
Yeah, maybe they cut us.
But as the crowd, you can chalk that up to good editing, because it made for a storyline too, because as the competitors fell by the wayside, we got to see us more, everyone got to see us more. So it was
and what it looked like in the editing, we saw you evolve from kind of silent, kind of okay, they're there somewhere, to full force. People say yes, and you even called yourselves underdogs, and everybody likes a good underdog story. And I think so many people were rooting for you at the end, and I'm so happy and so excited to see so much goodness came out of it, and all the success and the great stuff that's happening for you guys. So really quickly, in one sentence, what are you doing now, and what's ahead for you? Anything exciting?
We've actually been invited by some different groups to come speak about positivity and motivation, and it's been a lot of fun. We've enjoyed it, and so hopefully we get more opportunities like that. It's been really cool.
That wasn't one sentence.
It was a run-on sentence.
It was like a conjunction sentence. Yeah, we'll take it. We'll take it. And so I will say one last thing. So I'm a keynote speaker by trade. So y'all should get a website page up and everything about your speaking, and we can connect later about that. I'll send you my website, and you can kind of get some ideas and stuff like that. But you should do that about positivity, mindset, obstacles, all that kind of stuff. So we should talk about that. I'll send you my website, and you can go look at it. And if you have questions, let me know. But I definitely think you should do that.
The ones we've done so far have been very enjoyable.
Yeah.
So thank you for that offer. We'd love to do it more.
Yeah, definitely. And then, make sure when you go out and speak and stuff, you record it so you have video clips and that kind of stuff. So yeah. So we'll chat. We can chat more about that some other time. But I love having you on. Thank you so much. And thank you for spreading all your positivity and goodness out there, and for inspiring so many people to go out and just be their best true selves, right? Because that's what you were the whole time. And we love seeing you evolve.
Thank you, Jessica, so much. Yeah. We appreciate you.
Thank you. Thanks so much for joining us. We will see you on the next episode of the Say Yes Experience. Have an awesome day. Bye-bye.
Are you ready to move to your next level of rockstar greatness? CFO, Chief Fun Officer, #1 best-selling author, and keynote speaker Blaze Rector is ready to help you do that. At just 10 years old, he's already written 2 #1 best-selling books. Through the power of storytelling, he uses lessons learned and shares strategies, tips, tactics, and tools to inspire, empower, and motivate you to live a more amazing life. So if you're ready to do that in your own life, grab a copy of his #1 best-selling books at jessicarector.com/store. And when you order your copies, he will personally autograph them and write you a message on those books before shipping them out to you to really inspire and empower you in your life. These books are great for adults and kids alike. So if you're ready to move to your next level of rockstar greatness, make sure you grab your copy at jessicarector.com/store. Enjoy those amazing, empowering, transformational books. Did you know that the 2 biggest issues impacting the workforce are mental health and burnout? Well, we have your solution. The more that you feel burned out, the more it impacts your mental health. The more your mental health is impacted, the more it leads to burnout. So it's a vicious cycle that goes around and around, but it doesn't have to be that way. You can help them both if you're intentional and strategic with it. We have lots of resources for you at jessicarector.com/store. One that I want to highlight that really enhances your mental health is Tame Your Brain Game, 52 tips to turn negative thoughts into positive action. Now, research shows that 80% of your thoughts are negative. No matter how positive you feel, it's the pattern and the habit that you've developed over the course of years, over the course of decades. And that can often impact your life, how you show up, how you lead, how you communicate, how you engage, whether at work or at home. And then it also impacts a work environment. All you need is one NN or TT, negative Nancy or toxic Tim, to really impact that work environment. So if you are ready to enhance your mental health, get your copy of Tame Your Brain Game, 52 tips to turn negative thoughts into positive action today at jessicarector.com/store. All books are autographed with a personal message just for you. Thank you so much for being here. Check us out at thesayyesexperience.com. Our mission at the Say Yes Experience is to empower 10 million people to say yes. With your help in sharing our podcast, we can do that. Follow us on all social media at the Say Yes Experience and join our free community at facebook.com/groups/the Say Yes Experience. Thank you again to our guest. You can find all the contact information for our guest in the show notes. Thank you to our CFO, Chief Fun Officer, Blaze Rector, our business advisor, Lisa Verhurick, and to our team at Jessica Rector Enterprises. We look forward to connecting with you on the next episode. Have an amazing day and keep being a rock star.